Hello, this is High Templar with my new Total War Warhammer multiplayer battle, and today we'll be playing 2 vs 2 a Dwarf Alliance versus Greenskins and Chaos. And it will be Dwarfs and Clan Angrund. And this actually took place before the update 5, so you will see some mechanics from before the update 5, like, 2 turns. However, I did wanted to bring something bit different than the Wood Elves, and it's hard to get a battle without Wood Elves in recent days. So let's just see my build. I did brought a Rune Lord, 2 Tains, and then lots of Longbeards. Here they are Longbeards. Then I have Dragonback Slayers, no Wyrmlings in the back, so they wouldn't be focused or targeted by artillery, by flyers, anything really. Rangers with great weapons and Uta Raiders. 3 units of Thunderers. And then we have a cannon and the Goblobber. And there is also the Grumbling Guard here in the center. For the Celestor, he brought obviously some Longbeards, some Quarrelers with great weapons, he does love those. The Grumbling Guard, quite obviously, even more Longbeards. No Wyrmlings right here, then more Longbeards. Those guys will be holding the center, which is excellent idea. He does have Dragonback Slayer also in the back. He has a cannon and Goblobber. So we are pretty heavy on artillery and range units. And our enemies, I can see Orc Boar Beagons, and then we have Black Orcs, and more Black Orcs, 5 units of Black Orcs. We do play on the higher, on Ultra Fans. Night Goblin Launchers, 2 units of them, then Trolls, Doomdiver Catapult, Orc Shaman, and the Anzac the Slaughterer, which is uncommon, Giant, and Orc Boar Beagons. I do not see many regiments of Renowns. I don't see any regiments of Renowns for the Orcs, which is surprising to say at least. Then we have Chaos. We have Sorcerers of Fire, obviously brought against Clan Angrund. And I didn't brought any Ethereal units because I knew they would bring fire. Picking an Angrund was actually, I hope that they will bring those units, for example, Aspiring Champions and the Fire Wizard, which will not do very well against Dwarfs if they are not using Ethereal units. We have a Chaos Lord on the Chaos Dragon, which is awesome. Then we have lines of Chaos Warriors. Surprisingly, not Chaos Warriors with great weapons. We have some fellow Manticores. We have 2 Hell Cannons. Count them, 2. 3 units of Aspiring Champions. Some Chaos Warriors with great weapons in the back. And then Chaos Mothers throwing excess also in the back. So let's just see what will happen right now. And I do apologize, I am still a bit ill. We actually have a catapult hit on the Chaos Lord, but he doesn't seem to mind. Which I find amusing. My Rune Lord obviously has defense against magic. Resistance against magic all the way to 40%. I am starting to fire at those Chaos Warriors. We do seem a little movement on the Orc player. I have a fire ball casted on my units, which I will ignore because, whatever. Those guys actually have a fire resistance, so it's even more whatever. Have 2 cannons, my mistake. I will continue firing on their guys, and I will be bringing my Thunderers against those heroes here and keeping my Dragonback Slayers. Also, I would be pulling my Noblings. Sorry, those are Ultra Raiders. My Noblings are somewhere here. On the other flank, we see some exchange of fire. We do see a lot of fire from the cannons into the Black Orcs, which is, you know, understandable. Right here, we have a skirmish from the full attack from the Orc player because he was forced to fight the Celestial forces, the War forces here, and some heavy skirmish from this player here. There was a slight hit on the Chaos Fire Sorcerer, and there also is a slight hit on the Chaos Lord. The Manticores, they are trying to surround me, but I am pretty prepared for that. Here the artillery is dealing quite a damage to those Black Orcs and Borboy Beacons. Strange pick to bring Borboy Beacons against. Here we have a Fire Sorcerer trying to do something about me, but as you can see, being absolutely destroyed by the Thunderers. And I also used the Rune of Wrath and Ruin because why not? I did not have any other targets. So this guy is not coming to skirmish me. Here we have attack from the Orc forces while the Chaos are standing and receiving my fire really. Keeping closer and closer. We do have those Dragonback Slayers waiting for the Azag the Slaughterer to come into the artillery. As you can see, they are already moving closer. The Azag is attacking the artillery, the Dragonback Slayers coming after him. The charge from the Black Orcs straight into the Noblings Ironbreakers. That will not go very well for them. They are even slightly already tired. Those guys have a charge defense versus all. The only advantage that those Black Orcs have right now is the charge bonus, which will be nullified. They will do very well against any other unit, but not those guys. Those guys will chew them up. On my front, nothing really happens. Those guys are moving closer. I am still firing at their forces. But right now we have Dragonback Slayers coming after the Azag. We have Orc Borboy Beacons on this flank. We have a giant that is quite damaged, and here we have already running away Black Orcs, so heavily damaged by the artillery that they are forced to run away. And the Rune of Negation, exactly at the moment the Trolls are coming in. That was not the best use for the Rune of Negation, since it will take over the units that are actually not under the attack. But that is still very cool. We have Dragonback Slayers focusing the Azag, and he will be dying pretty quickly. Here we have Longbeards trying to intercept those Borboy Beacons. And on this flank we have my Dragonback Slayers are coming back because it seems that there will be no attack from the Chaos War player. He is taking the trees to hide from me, and this is very good, but it seems that Aspiring Champions are retreating because he doesn't seem to see any ethereal units. Right now, right here, that Rune of Negation will be very, very useful on that part of battlefield. Right about now, we see one cannon unit already running away, but the Azag is already quite broken, and there is Orc Borboy Beacons charging into those cannons. And it will not be fun. Into the Goblobber. Oh, that was quite a brutal charge. But they are also will be fighting against the Dragonback Slayers. And that allowed Azag to actually run away from the fight. And here we have some of the Longbeards retreating to cover this battlefield, which is a mistake. We do have 2 Feral Manticores coming in also, so maybe that was not a mistake. And the Chaos Warrior, it would seem, Chaos Lord, it would seem, is getting into that part of the battlefield. I will be regrouping my guys, obviously. Moving my Thunderers on this flank to help with those Manticores, and they are being shot. And already Orb begins broken. And again we have Chaos Lord, but he is fighting Dragonback Slayers, and the Cannon's crew are getting back in the fight. Meanwhile, this Chaos player just standing back, that is a grave mistake. Another charge from the Trolls, which obviously retreated because that's what the Trolls do. But this line is quite broken. It was broken by the Giant. The Giant is being attacked by Grumbling Guard, which is a poor choice. Grumbling Guard should be absolutely attacking the Black Orcs or the Orboy Beagons. They should be flanking and attacking them. We have a Longbeards that will have a much better chances of fighting those guys. Unfortunately, both Trolls and Chaos Manticores are into the Quarrelers with great weapons. That will not be very good exchange for them. Chaos Lord has retreated from this fight here. The the Iron Draken's Norglings are standing fast against those guys and destroying them completely. Right now I have 3 units of my Thunderers and my Dragonback Slayers going on this flank, whereas this guy is trying to do something about me, but as you can see, I'm just pounding their units. I'm even attacking those Hell Cannons, which are now in the range. He was waiting for that, hoping that those Hell Cannons will turn the tide of the battle for him. He would be able to safely attack, but as you can see, it's not going very well. And now my Thunderers will be... my Dragonback Slayers are attacking the Azag, and my Thunderers will be doing the same. We have a Warhammer Seeker stand on ground, but it will not be very helpful for the Azag, who will be fighting Dragonback Slayers. On this flank, however, we see the right flank has completely broken, with the Norglings absolutely devastating those Black Orcs. On this flank, the center, however, was broken completely, and some Black Orcs into the Colorers, and also some Feral Manticores and the Chaos Lord. There is still some Dragonback Slayers here fighting. Here we have Orboy Beagons completely destroyed, and also we have a fire into those Black Orcs, destroying them completely, and we will be firing. We would be firing. Those Dragonback Slayers are fighting the Azag. We have 3 units that will be firing into those Black Orcs and the Giant, and they will be taking them out pretty fast. But this battle was over at this moment, and they knew that. I had still artillery, still plenty of shots. One of the Hell Cannons was destroyed, I believe. Or it wasn't, but it was low on health, and those Chaos units were pretty pounded. My infantry was absolutely not touched. I still had my Norglings, I still had my Longbeards and the Grumbling Guard, and here I was about to open fire to those guys and destroy them completely. So I guess that was a win for us. Let's see the stats. Let's see how it went. Obviously my guys were out of the fight for the most of the combat, but you can see that the Cannons and Goblobber, who is very good against those heavy armored infantry, did exceedingly well. The Cannons also focused the Lords, but they didn't do as well. They were also firing on the hell cannons. So that's why the most kills were into the Goblower. Then we have Thunderers, which were mostly focusing the Manticores and the Lords, but they also did some damage on the Black Orcs, and pretty nice damage as you can see. And the Dragonback Slayers, who were fighting the Borbobigans and then Azak the Slaughterer. However, as you can see, most of our army was actually not fighting at all, and that was due to decision. They were keeping this guy from attacking our flank, and it worked pretty well. This guy pretty much lost half of his forces. Most of his Black Orcs were dead. He still had 2 catapults, but they didn't score much damage. His cavalry didn't score pretty much anything, and the Night Goblin Archers also pretty much nothing. Celestia, on the other hand, lost some of his forces, but dealt a lot of damage to those guys. A lot of damage. It is really annoying that you cannot no longer switch between the units when you are actually between the parties, when you are reviewing replay, because I would like to see still how Celestial did and how Dr. Kakalak did. Mostly the Manticores, obviously, but still. So, you might call it not very interesting battle, but I find this tactical situation when you hold one person in a standoff and use some of your forces like Mine Thunderers to flank the enemy and destroy them is quite an interesting one. So yeah, that's it. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos in Total War Warhammer. I do DLC analysis videos and mechanics videos, but I also do Let's Plays in Total War series and games. So, thank you for watching, and see you later.